Welcome. I'm so glad you're here to join me to come to our mat, find some peace and stillness in our whirling world. And we'll begin seated on the edge of a blanket, a roll blanket or a cushion, and making sure that those sit bones are your anchor. We'll be here pretty briefly for our breath work, and then we'll get dynamic standing up. So let's find our seat. Now, if you need to, just rock side to side and find the sits bones and maybe lean forward, just allowing some settling to happen. If you're seated cross-legged, you can feel free to put some blocks underneath your knees. You could kneel and sit up on a block. There are a lot of choices, even sitting in a chair. Let's take our hands to the thighs, wherever we are in our seat, and just feel that sense of grounding. Close the eyes. Now we can begin to go inward and shut out the visual distractions around us and find some stillness physically. Our sits bones are rooted. The lower back curves naturally, reaching up towards the mid-spine. So in the mind's eye, let's travel vertebrae by vertebra up the spine, towards the rib cage. And then follow that line past the shoulder blades and feel the shoulder blades gliding down the back, nice and fluid, towards the floor. And as we do that, maybe you feel that sternum lifts a little more, the heart light shining forward more brightly. Naturally, as we exhale, those shoulders are going to drop away from the ears. And then in your mind's eye, let's see if we can find the ears, can find the shoulders and stay in that vertical plane together. Back down to the root, we feel that sense of our anchor. And then with our inhale, we can feel the crown of the head reaching up. So we're carving out space in the spine already just by finding this still point. Hands feeling the thighs just dropping towards the floor. And then we can simply find our breath and its path, whatever it's doing right now, the natural breath. Noticing the in-breath and the out-breath, the entryway, our gateway to yoga practice, the natural breath. And as you observe the breath, begin to see if you can affect the breath, bringing your inhale a little bit more deeply into that anchor space, so into the belly, the root, the pelvis area. So that's a nice root area for the torso. And then as you exhale, feel everything contracting just to naturally get that air out and cleanse the system, hitting reset, only to begin again. And as you exhale, feel the last part of that exhale and use the torso, use the strong accessory muscles, abdominal, to really get that last part of the exhale out. And notice as you lengthen the exhale, how that allows a bigger inhale and more capacity for the lungs. If any of the conscious breath of this inviting in bigger breath and exhaling longer makes you dizzy at all, just come back to normal breath. So that's our practice today. Deepen the breath, lengthen the exhales, and check in when necessary to come back to natural breathing. Flutter the eyes open on your next exhale. Notice the difference around you. Just look around with your eyes, behold the space you're in, and just feel the difference. And then we can just nod the head. So we acknowledge that part of our spine at the top, inside the skull, and also giving ourselves a little nod, a little affirmation for practice. Gentle nod. A few more times. And then bring the gaze to neutral. Take the arms up towards the sky. So we're lengthening the side bodies. Feel the luxury here of the breath. Take the hands into prayer above the head and then trace that line down the center. So you can just remind yourself throughout the practice, taking your thumbs to the third eye, a nice mental still point, and then past down the heart, past the center. And that heart space also having our lungs nearby. The life source. Inhale, the arms open again. Bring them to prayer. One more time, tracing that line down the center. And then in this next inhale, inviting the breath in, prayer position. And at the top, we're going to take that same prayer position towards center, but we're going to rotate on that vertical axis, twisting side to side. The ribs go side to side. The sternum, you're just following that line of the sternum as you bring yourself down. So we're propelling ourselves into this twist with our own strength. Come to center again. Find the plumb line from the crown of the head to the base of the pelvis. Beautiful. Open the arms out in this giant, nice wingspan we have. Roll the shoulders, inhaling them up to the ears, and then take them down towards the floor. Hitchhiker thumbs. Now, with your gaze forward, see if you can just tuck the chin towards the back of the room a little bit and then tuck the chin in. So we're really aligning the back of our skull with the sacrum. And then with your eyes, just gaze over at your right thumb and then your left thumb. So we're moving side to side only with the eyes. We're just making sure we involve those muscles, and then we'll take those arms to a diagonal and then look up and then down at your thumbs. Gaze forward, come through center and change that diagonal. And then look up and down. Excellent. Just use the eyes. I know this is quite the wake up for those muscles. And then come out to the side. And then sweep the arms up to the sky. Gaze up at the hands. Imagine positive energy in a beautiful ball landing in your palms. Beautiful. Exhale, just float the hands down to the floor. And we're transitioning to standing for some of our alignment work from above. So come to your tabletop or whatever way you'd like to come up to standing. Tabletop and maybe a little light lunge forward and then bringing the feet forward. Hands to the thighs, fold up at the hips as you come up to standing. Stand in the middle of the mat with a wide side around you. Beautiful. And just find the feet, find the floor, another anchor point. The four corners of the feet, the big toe mound, little toe mound, inner heel, outer heel. That squaring off of the feet, spreading the toes. Feel that sense of grounding. You can try this any time of day that you have to be standing, waiting in line somewhere. Great way to just feel a little more aligned. So then we bring the energy of the legs together and notice the waking up of the muscles that happens. Drop the arms next to the sides. See if you can gently drop the tailbone towards the floor, descend it towards the floor, and then the glutes are engaged. Not too much, just about 30%. Open the palms to the front of your room. Feel the expansion across the collarbones, creating freedom for the body here. And then take the palms to the sides and keep those shoulders open. Beautiful. Nice strong mountain pose. And we're taking some standing poses, making sure that when we do those standing poses and have a straight leg, we're not hyperextending, but just keeping those quads lifted so we can track our knees, right? Inhale, exhale. And then take your stance a little bit wider. Each feet out to the side, and we'll just take that vertical axis in our mind along the spine again and start to sway side to side and the arms out with you. So feeling that natural momentum, stepping away from any walls. And see if you can, that front hand can just tap the shoulder at the top there in the front. And then the back hand can tap the back of the ribs or just the lower part of the spine. It's fine too. Just wrap around, get things moving. Tai Chi twist, tapping. Excellent. Slow that down naturally. Exhaling nice and long. And then come back to the center of the mat. See if you can grab that strap. And if you don't have a strap, you can clasp the fingers behind you at the base of the spine, or just grab that strap and hold the hands at whatever comfort level distance you want at the base of the spine. Just feel as you reach down, imagine that arms straight out here, mountain pose. Imagine that the strap had some weight to it. So you're just allowing that weight to go downward, dropping the tailbone, and then notice that your heart shines a little more upward, and you're going to tuck the low ribs in and just feel that stretch behind you, lifting that strap a little bit higher. If you have the hands clasped, be careful, just lift a little bit inch by inch, but you can lift that strap a little bit higher, feeling how that opens the chest and the pec muscles, get a little stretch there in the front, and then come down towards the floor. Inhale up, exhale down, and then do this lifting with your inhale and descending with your exhale. If you feel like bringing the hands closer together along the way here as you get to the bottom, you can do that too. Explore that stretch. Excellent. Another nice thing to do for yourself when you're standing somewhere out there in the world. Great, bring that down. We'll take that strap in front of us now, hold it in front at a comfortable length. Maybe I suggest shoulder width apart. Inhale that strap up towards the sky. And if you want to just separate the hands more, you can do that. Reach up and feel the side body's long. Exhale, let's take it over to the side, grounding, finding the anchor of the feet. And then up towards the sky and then over to the other side. And then again, maybe a little deeper this time. And then the other side. Excellent. Sweep that behind you a little bit at the top. See if you can stretch. Again, if you've had some shoulder work done or, any real tenderness in the shoulder, just be careful how far back you go, behind you, and then forward and back. Excellent. Beautiful. All right, taking that down, we'll take that strap to the side, just put it over to the side. Shake out the hands, and then we'll stand in mountain with our arms down. Let's take some neck flexibility here to new levels. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, turn towards the right with your chin, towards the right shoulder. Following your breath through that path, clean line over to the other side, left. Looking forward and then gazing up at our stars, our blue skies. Forward, drop the chin to the jugular notch into the center. Let's take the hands and clasp them behind the back this time, just dropping them towards the base of the spine so you can really keep that heart tall even as you're looking down. And from the center point, let's trace a line across the collarbone towards the towards the right. Reaching that chin out and then come back to the center. Over to the other side, reaching over and then back to the center. Inhale, look up. Wonderful. With this breath across the collarbones. Let's inhale, grow tall, and exhale, take the right ear to right shoulder. Release the hands, and then take the left hand, reaching out towards the left, nice and long arm, and make gentle circles with your fingertips. And then the other direction, feeling that length of the trapezius. So this long line from the fingers all the way up the neck, all the way to the crown of the head. Bring that arm to the side, take the right hand to your right ear, reach up, really elevate that crown of the head, and then exhale, bring that right ear, left ear to the left shoulder. Beautiful. Clasp the hands behind you. I forgot to do that, just to make our width across the collarbones a little wider. And then release the hands out, right arm reaches out. Feeling that long line, gentle little circles with the fingertips, and then back. Other direction. Take the left hand to the left ear, reach up, and then take 2 fingertips to the chin and just push back gently, just for a little ½ inch towards the back, so you can feel that sense of alignment with the back of the skull to the sacrum at the base of the spine. Release, and just notice that, and then tuck the chin in towards the jugular notch. So notice the lengthening that happens in the back of the neck when you do that. And then face forward. Freedom for the neck. Let's take the hands to the hips, and we're going to just take gentle hip circles using that anchor point, and as if we just have that line, that plumb line from the crown of the head to between those feet, and you're just going around that axis as you turn those hips, sway the hips around in a circle, and then bring that back the other way, change the circle. Beautiful. Maybe you'll hear some little creaks along the way. Come on back, inhale the arms up towards the sky, and then just reach up towards the left. Imagine picking your favorite fruit with that left, look up, and your right, and then your left, and then your right, and then both arms up. Let's come up onto the tiptoes, growing tall, feeling, again, the anchor is a little less extreme this time, less wide, and then bring the heels down. Drop those hands to the back of the skull, clasp the hands together, and just feel that lifting. So a gentle traction. Cup the base of the skull and lift up. More room. Excellent. Open up like those elbows like butterflies. So we're going to look up at the sky, supporting the base of the skull, and then exhale the elbows together. Inhale up, open, exhale, close. And just visualize those beautiful colors of a butterfly, inspiring us to lighten our load. And one more time. Beautiful. Drop the hands, arms to the side, step to the base of your mat. We're going to take some steps forward. With the second of our standing sequence, you might want a chair nearby. So if you want to have some kind of furniture, we're just doing that pyramid pose where you might want something to hold on to, and I'll demonstrate with the chair as well. But a block to have handy is a great thing too. Let's come to the base of the mat. Find your mountain pose. And then we'll step forward with the right foot towards the top of the mat. But you can, and we're going to take a high lunge here. So the back toes are going to be curled under. But first, if you want to find that width of the feet that feels comfortable for you towards the edge of the mat, you can do that. Take the hips and let's see if we can point them towards the top of the mat. Find that same plumb line from the crown of the head down towards the base of the spine, towards that tailbone. Beautiful. And then we'll begin to descend the hips down in between the thighs and the middle of the mat, dropping down as if there's a weight, that anchor at the base of the pelvis. And we're reaching back with that back leg, keeping that nice and straight if you can, into a high lunge, so curling the toes under. Inhale the arms up towards the sky. Magnetize your 2 feet together and notice that brings you into center more, right? Inhale the arms up, shoulders towards the ears, then drop the shoulders away from the ears. So with the same reach, we're going to reach forward and we're going to come to a low lunge, right? So we're going to hinge at the hips, keeping those hips forward, hinging at the right hip, paint that wall in the distance, and then bring the hands down around the front foot, keeping that back foot curled under in the toes. Here we are in our low lunge and just feeling that connection between the 2 feet. Let's not lose that. Finding the center line has moved to the horizontal position. And just stay in this low lunge, and we're going to take a twist from here. Right hand to the heart, elbow to the sky. Feel the ribs turn towards that right knee, right thigh, and then reach the right arm up towards the sky. So we're curling at the ribs and then on upward. Maybe look up at your fingertips, again, involving those eyes in our flexibility practice here. Come on down with that right hand around that right foot, and feel free to take that left knee down as we transition to puppy pose or down dog. It's up to you. We're going to draw the right foot back into our all fours position for puppy pose, or you can come up into down dog. With down dog, make sure those fingertips are pointing towards the top of the mat, and we bring the knees off the mat. Or if you're in puppy, right thighs, right ankle to the floor, reach the arms out and bring the forehead down to the mat. And just feel that stretch. Even if you're in down dog, feel that third eye, just release. If you're in down dog and you want to pedal your feet, let's do that too. And just find that hamstring gently entering this through hamstring stretch here in down dog. Exhale, feel as if there's just a weight on that third eye, but it's a releasing to the earth. Great. And then walk the feet, or if you're in puppy, come up off the mat with those knees, walk the feet to the hands, top of the mat, find the mountain distance, mountain pose distance, hip width apart, and let's sit back in our chair prep, thighs and ribs meet. Inhale the arms behind you, exhale, sweep them down, and then up next to the ears. Remember that reach we were doing with our lunge? Let's keep that same reach through the side bodies and tuck that chin a little back so you could take that alignment along the spine, stand strong through the feet. The inhale brings us up, and then the arms sweep by the side, and we just turn around facing the other side of the mat, appreciating we can turn in all of these different planes of space, right? So let's take our mountain pose at the other side of the mat. Inhale. Exhale, walk forward with your left foot, and we're going to curl the back toes under on the right side and feel the hips turn towards the top of the mat. Exhale, drop the hips, weight of the tailbone bringing us down. Adjust your back foot, explore what width is comfortable for you. And then inhale the arms up above the head, shoulders down away from the ears. Magnetize those feet so you can feel your center, that still point, the still center. And then with that length, reaching out towards the front of the mat, as if you're trying to paint that wall on the opposite side of the room. Come down to a low lunge. Beautiful. Keeping that awareness of that deep inhale into the base of the pelvis, so we involve that deep breath in our practice. Exhale, take the left hand to your heart, and then on your next inhale, let's turn towards the left thigh, opening up towards the sky with your left arm. And if you can, gaze up at that left hand. Take a full twist here. Sweep the left hand down to the floor, low lunge, bring the knee down. Your choice of puppy or dog. You've got both in the room here, whatever you need. Or child's pose, if that's your choice as well. I'm going to show downward dog. And just feeling so we can get our hamstring stretch in there. A big inhale walks the feet forward towards the hands. And this time we'll just hinge up. But before we do that, we're going to hang the head down. So if you want to straighten the legs, you can, or keep them bent if you have restrictions there. Just hang the head. The brain, if it were a muscle, it would just release. And if you want to take your fingertips to the mat, bent or straight legs, inhale into a flat back. Exhale, look down, look at the world upside down and shake the head yes, and shake the head no. And then keep the knees slightly bent there as you take the hands to the top of the thighs. Inhale, hinging up to flat back, all the way up to standing. Beautiful. Back to this side of the mat. Now here's where you might want a chair placed at the other side of your mat if you want to meet it there in our pyramid pose. Great. So let's take that trip to the bottom of the mat. Inhale, mountain pose, your center anchor here, and step forward with the right foot. We're going in the other, we're taking lots of directions today. So what we're gonna do is angle the back foot. So we're in that warrior one prep stance. Again, find that width that's good for you. The hands are gonna travel to the hips here, and we're just gonna guide with our own hands, the hips forward. And make sure that angle of your back foot allows your comfort in your knee, so you don't wanna compromise that. So we're gonna take a forward bend and then a twist. So making this nice and fluid and supported by the foundation of our feet, pulling them together. Inhale, grow out of that pelvis and spine goes really long. Exhale, hinging with the right hand on the right hip. Reach long forward. Take your hand to a chair or to a block. And just feel the bend, feel the evenness and the squaring off of the hips. Even press back on that thigh with your right hand. And let's check in on that front knee. Make sure it's not overly bent. Hyperextended. You want to involve those quads. Now take your right hand to the heart. And then take the elbow. And what we're going to do here is keep those hips steady while we turn the sternum over towards the right, turning the ribs only to the right. And then holding there with that arm reaching up in a diagonal. So the arms are in a diagonal here if you're on the chair. Exhale, bring it back, forward. Bend that front knee. And then step forward. And we'll switch directions. Take the chair or any prop to the other side of the mat. And step to that base. Inhale, exhale, walk forward. Confidence, right? Angle the back foot. Make sure the knees are aligned. Hands to hips allows us to just guide them forward. And from here, dropping tailbone, inhale, feel the feet really connect, and exhale, hinging at the left hip with your hand on the left thigh. That allows some inward rotation of the hand. Reach long with your right hand to a block or to a chair. Find your breath. Inhale deeply into the base of the torso. Exhale, left hand to heart, open up towards the left. So we're really feeling the turning of the ribs and the heart, the eyes, the neck, and then reach long in a diagonal or whatever connects your two arms, that line. Checking with the left knee that we're keeping those quads engaged and aligning the knee. Beautiful. Sweep the left arm forward. Bending that front knee, just simply step the feet together and stand up, and then take the chair aside. We'll place that over here. Beautiful. And then we'll find our way to the base of the mat again. Inhaling the arms up towards the sky, tracing that line down the center, finding again the third eye, find our way to the heart. Hold here. If you can, close the eyes. Find your center in mountain. Find the balance. Feel the subtle differences between the feet. Find your third eye. And then find a deep inhale and exhale. Really lengthen that exhale. Inhale again. Exhale. Drop the hands next to the body. Open the eyes. Inhale the arms up to the sky. Look up. More positive energy your way. More joy. More peace. Harmony. Bring your gaze forward. We're going to just hinge here at the hips. If you need to bend the knees, that's okay. But just reach long into a forward bend. Hang the head down. Release what you need to release. With the knees slightly bent, let's walk out to a down dog, keeping those shoulders rolling away from our ears. So we're rolling them away so we can involve those bigger muscles, the latissimus dorsi on the side, lots of larger muscles that support the opening across the collarbones. And then we'll come forward, just transition again, curling toes so that we can come forward into a plank. Exhale, propelling yourself with the breath back to a down dog. And then come forward again, strengthening our arms, feeling that long line, tailbone toward the crown of the head. And then back to down dog. Let's repeat this a few times. If you want to do this with your knee plank, that's fine. Finding our way to the mat. You can hold down dog on a light, nice long exhale. Inhale forward towards plank, bringing the knees down to the mat. Take those knees wider, bring the big toes together, and slide the hips back towards the heels, reaching the arms long on the mat. Here we are. We found our way to the mat. Forehead down. If you have issues with the knee flexion, sit up on a block or roll onto the back and hug the knees. Arms long, going inward, feeling the deepening of the breath. Just physically, when you deepen that inhale, you'll feel that expansion of the belly into the thighs. Exhale, you can really feel the physicality of that exhale. Allow the earth to absorb your exhale. And along with it, absorb fear or worries. Let's roll the head side to side, just feeling that massage on our forehead, that neocortex area. And then let's come back to the center and we'll roll this. Let's involve the whole spine, rolling side to side. And then we're going to take the forehead and the arms over to the left. Take the right hand on top of left. Find that anchor of the hips and then walk towards the center. Inhale, exhale to the other side. Oh, so nice. Feeling the ribs. As the ribs expand, we just allow more capacity for the breath.
And then walk your hands back to the center, come forward. What we're going to do is transition to our belly down pose. So bring the belly down. And forehead comes down. Now we're just draped down on the mat. Take the arms long next to the ears. Inhale, and we'll just notice this length, fingertips down to toes. Beautiful. Now, if you can do that gentle tuck in with the chin and just lift the head off the mat, just noticing as you lift, the action that creates, come down to the mat. Now we're going to sweep the hands out to the side. So the arms are going to go long. They move over so you can see this. Arms out to the side, hitchhiker thumbs again. So our head is on the mat, our big toe, the top of our feet are on the mat and all the toes. Point the tailbone towards the heels, bring the thumbs up towards the sky, right? Keep that openness across the arms and then lift the head up. And then inch the thumbs up towards the sky and then down again. And then up again and then down. Really tucking in the chin enough to feel that alignment. Oof, come on down. Rest the arms. Inhale, exhale, and let's come on up again. Take those hitchhiker thumbs up, head off the mat. Really feel the anchor of the tops of the feet. It's kind of hard to keep them down. They want to come up. And then thumbs up, couple inches, and then down, up and then down. Curling up through the spine. And then bring it on down, forehead down, reach the arms next to the ears. Inhale, everything off the mat. We're going to take the arms, the head, and the legs, and really reach long. Inhale. Feel as you inhale, that'll inflate you upward. Exhale, reach out. Again, find the chin, tuck it back slightly so we can align that head, and then come down. Release. One more time with that, and then we'll do some paddling. Inhale up, locust. Exhale down. Next one, we're going to strengthen those glutes and our core. Inhale, paddle, legs and arms. And then come on down. Beautiful. Sweep the palms down next to the shoulders and the elbows at the ribs. Pull back with your hands towards the feet and then peel yourself up into a baby cobra. Strengthening those muscles in the back. Exhale down. Use your breath to inflate upward. Float it on up and come down. Snaking through the spine into our cobra. Exhale down. One more time. And our next path upward into baby cobra. Slide the forearms in front of you. Beautiful. Take the palms down and we'll just use those glute muscles to point that tailbone towards the heels. Come up into Sphinx. Stay diagonal if you need to, if that hurts your lower back, or let's unfold through the heart first and then look up. Keep the gaze soft. Imagine yourself that Sphinx, desert, thousands of years. Wise gaze. Exhale, curl down. Take the forehead to the hands. Just feel the length of the body here. And then sweep the hands next to the shoulders. Come on up, curling up through a cat to our seated sage pose. So we're going from Sphinx to sage, a little bit of an Egyptian thing going here. Bring your seat to the edge of a cushion. And we're going to take a staff pose. So first,
which is a forward bend. So do be careful with yourself here with the knees, not to hyperextend. You can place something under your knees if you have issues with that, but we're going to take those feet flexed forward and keeping our alignment on the edge of that blanket so that the lumbar spine can naturally occur. So let's take those feet forward, find that L shape if you can, take the fingertips to beside you. That will help. Inhale, exhale, find your anchor, sits bones. Next inhale, let's bend the left knee, bring the foot to the floor. So you're using the leverage of your hand on the front, on that shin to really lift the spine. So that helps a lot. Inhale, exhale, keeping that right foot active. Now we'll take a sage twist. So take the right hand on the side of that left thigh. Really notice, as we did standing through that pyramid pose and revolve triangle, we're going to turn the sternum first. And then bring that wise, soft gaze over your left shoulder. Squeeze that air out. At the exhale, so much more thorough with a twist. Come back to center. And then guide that leg out. Straighten the left leg. Inhale the right foot, right knee, and then bring the right foot to the floor. Use that same hands on shin, lifting your spine up, improving that posture with every class we do. Take the left hand to the side of the thigh on the right side and twist first. Heart turns. Feel free to take that back hand, fingertips to the floor, and turn. Gaze over right shoulder if you can. Oh, come on back. Oh, feels yummy. Then come back to staff pose. If you take your hands to the top of your thighs and guide inward with your fingertips, you'll feel the skin of the thighs move inward. That is an inward spiral protecting the low back as we just do a nice lean forward. Keep it diagonal, back of skull, lined with sacrum. So we're not hunching forward, right? We're just leaning forward, feeling a little bit of that fluidity in the hips. Excellent. Sweep on yourself back up to back up to seated. Sorry. Come on, take the feet to the floor and we'll find our way down and grab a block along the way so we can take our supported shoulder stand, turning things upside down again. Ease yourself down to the mat. Take the feet to the mat and then hip width apart. We're going to bridge up. Inhale the hips up and place the block underneath the sacrum. So find your anchor here. We're just shifting the whole class. We're just kind of shifting our anchor up and down, changing the way our brain is taking in space. That is such a healthy thing to do, really, because, we switch it up, keep things active and dynamic. Let's take the arms next to the body. So in that on the mat, and see if you can just find the base of that, the block. So we're lengthening the spine, folding the shoulders away from the sternum, and then take the palms down so you can just feel that anchor of your arms and your sacrum on the block. Inhale the knees up towards the sky. And then if you can straighten out both legs, we're in supported shoulder stand. Beautiful. Spread the toes, admire your toes. And just feel that folding of the thighs to the torso. Reaching up. Great. Candlestick. Let's point each toe, alternate pointing and flexing the toes. Dropping your energy of the legs into the hip sockets. Beautiful. You can even circle your ankles, exploring if there's some little healthy pops in there. And then bring our flexed feet together and then open to a V. And then as we close, we're going to bring the soles of the feet together and widen the knees for our butterfly. And then open up to candlesticks, out to a V, close again. So as you do this, this is energized from those hip sockets, right? Fluidity in the hips, manifesting that ease of the path of our hips. Lifting our hips up, just kind of giving them some relief from the weight of every day. Repeat here with your breath. Reach up one last time with candlesticks. Beautiful. Bend the knees, bring the feet to the floor. With the hips still elevated, we're going to straighten out our right leg and then straighten out the left leg, keeping the toes pointed towards the sky. Naturally, the shoulders are again dropping and melting towards the floor. And now you can release the feet out to the side. So the hips are lifted. If you need to shift our block there, go for it. Just, it should feel great. A little moment of appreciation for those hips and the weight they carry. Take the fingertips to those hip bones, to those hip points upward, and just feel the fingertips, massage them outwardly in an outward direction. Beautiful. Great. And then we'll take the feet back to their active status, so the toes towards the sky. Inhale, the arms up next to the ears. Find that length. And then bend the knees. Sweep the arms next to the body. Inhale the right knee towards the chest. Circle the ankle. One direction and the other. And then take ourselves into half happy baby. Right knee toward right armpit. Find your right hand finds just naturally what you want to hold, the ankle or the foot. And then let's take that active left leg down, standing on the left foot, or imagine standing on it. Take the left arm next to left ear. The breath, find the base of the spine, the base down to the pelvis. Exhale, lengthen that exhale. Unfold the breath. And then sweep that left arm down. Release the right leg. Bend the left knee. Inhale the left knee towards the armpit, circling the ankle. And then let's take it to a half happy baby. You can stay like this or reach the right leg straight and long, standing on that foot in an imaginary surface. Find that right arm finds the next to the ear, and we just feel the right side long. Releasing the left hip. Staying gentle with ourselves here. Sweep the right arm down. Release that left foot. And then we bridge our feet. So both feet on the floor, hip width apart. On the way to remove the block, we're just going to bridge up so we can feel the luxury of that bridge. Take the arms to the floor, really feel, so we're maximizing that anchor. It's the back of the head. It's the back of those shoulder blades and the back of the arms and the palms. Press them into the mat and then lift up the sternum towards the chin and just feel that extra lift that you can have when you anchor through the arms. Remove the block. Place it to the side, which allows space for us to curl the spine down. 1, just bone by bone, all the way down, allowing for that lumbar spine curve. Sacrum finds the mat. A new anchor, that sacrum on the mat. Let's roll over onto our left side. Great. And let's find our right angle so that the knees are together and the thighs are 90 degrees to the torso. And we'll take a gentle thigh stretch here before we go into our twist. We're going to take the right knee and sweep it down so that it's straight in line with the torso, and just take it to a right angle so that you're pointing the tailbone towards the heel. And if you want to grab your foot in the back, be careful with the knee. You don't have to go crazy here. Just keep it pointing downward and you'll open up that quad just fine. And then release, bring the knees back together. Take the palms together, arms long. And we're just going to draw some rainbows. So grab your sidewalk chalk, imaginary, in your right fingertips, and then watch that arc of the rainbow above your head and around to the other side, only as far as is comfortable for your shoulder, and bring it back to the other side. Sweeping this, so automatically as the hand comes over, the sternum opens up towards the sky, the ribs turn. Again, back to our eyes, soft gaze, watching this unfolding. We'll find that one side is different than the other, and that's fine. Each time with our breath, allowing further opening. Back, palms together, and keeping those knees together. Let's come to the center, give the knees a hug along the way. Bring them towards the chest. And then exhaling, we'll come over onto the right side. And find that right angle, thighs to torso. And from here, we'll just feel that side anchor, and we're going to take the left knee down towards the bottom of the mat, keeping a right angle with that leg, just feeling that opening as we point the tailbone towards the bottom of the mat. If you want to find that foot with your left hand, coming to that thigh stretch. And then knees find each other. Left hand on top of right. Imaginary colored chalk in your left hand. Trace that line above your head. Watch the line with your eyes over to the other side. And then close it. If you only go up to that 12 o'clock position, that's fine too. Just roll it back. Sometimes you can get a little millimeter more twist each time. But just feel the colors above you. Allow that release through that mid and upper spine. It is a delicious release when you find it, and you will find yourself moving differently in the world. And one more time. So good. Bring the palms together, roll onto the back. One more time, let's hug those knees to the chest. Taking the hands to the knees, let's circle them in one direction so we feel that sacrum, lower back massage, using our surfaces here and gravity, and change the circles to the other direction. And then bring those feet to the floor, lengthen your legs out, lengthen the arms out, luxuriate here for a few more moments to find that stillness. Find the stillness. Allow the body to release its effort. And whatever needs to be done or needs to be thought about can wait just a few more moments. It can wait, put that to the side. So we can find our breath again. Deepening our inhale. Lengthening the exhale. What more can you invite in at that little extra inhale that you're giving? So that extra space you're creating with a deep inhale. What more can you release with the end of that exhale? Just release it. So that you can find a still point. Find the still point that's always there, the center of your center of your center. Use your still witnessing space to watch thoughts go by, to watch the flurry around you in your mind, perhaps that vibration of that flurry in your body, and just witness. Witness the release. Begin to deepen your breath even more. Find movement in your fingers. Find movement in your toes. Begin to find movement in your bending the elbows and bending the knees. Your next long exhale brings you to your right side. Just take a few moments here on the right side. Take 3 breaths here. Appreciating yourself for taking this hour for yourself, for your own sense of peace and harmony, your own stillness and wisdom. Help yourself up slowly to a seated position. Head is the last to rise. Tall posture here. Inhale, the arms sweep up to the sky, inviting in. What do you want to move forward with? Come into the heart, and 2 more times. Magic 3. Down to our heart. Anjali Mudra. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me in the practice today.